are doing it live from Winona Terrace in Madison, Wisconsin. This is the final round of the 2016 USA Climbing Bouldering National Championships. And we're going to get right into it here tonight. Meet our athletes, 7 male finalists, 6 female finalists. And to do that, we're going to go down to the mats and our in-house MC, Brian Rafferty. Raf, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Madison, Wisconsin for the USA Climbing Bouldering 2016 Nationals. It is at this time that we would like to introduce our finalists. Starting for the guys, we have the one, the only, Mr. Jimmy Webb.
So I think we're going to try to keep the interview to like 2 minutes. Those 3 questions.
Next up for the guys, we have Carlo Traversi. For the ladies, we have Megan Misty Martin. Next up for the guys, we have Daniel Woods. Next up we have for the ladies, Claire Burfine. Next up we have Ty Landman. Next up for the ladies, we have Michaela Kirsch. And coming out next, we have Mohammed Jafari. Next up for the ladies, we have the one, the only, Miss Alex Puccio. Next up for the guys, we have Kai Leitner. Our final female competitor, Megan Mascarenas. And finally for the guys, we have Mr. Nathaniel Coleman. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for your USA Climbing Bouldering 2016 Nationals finalists. And it is at this time that our finalists are going to preview each one of their final problems. They are going to have 2 minutes on each one before they have to go back to...
We're going to welcome inside our broadcast booth, Brian Reynolds, Chris Widener, and USA Climbing Executive Director Keenan Wagner here. While these competitors have their route previews, they're going to look at each problem for 2 minutes. So while we do that, we're going to check in with Keenan and find out what's going on at USA Climbing.
Keenan, thanks so much for being with us here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's been going on at USA Climbing for the last year?
It has been a busy year, just like most years for USA Climbing. We had a rebrand last year that was quite successful. We have a website rollout that was semi-successful. We're still working on that website. We had a very successful regional realignment that determined our geographic boundaries across the country in the interest of standardizing competition size and region size, and that was successful as well. We're still seeing the same 17-18% growth amongst registration and membership. We've been enjoying that growth for the last 5 years, and I don't see that slowing down anytime soon.
That's awesome. What can we expect for 2016 with USA Climbing?
Some more website work. I think that the website
never ends.
It never ends. I'm realizing that it's going to be a consistent investment on our part for the years to come. Obviously, technology has never been our strong suit here at USA Climbing, and we're trying as hard as we can to get a website that can work and function with online scoring, membership. There's a whole lot of things that need to happen, and we're beta testing a lot of that functionality this weekend.
Great.
It started off working very well, and it got bogged down a little bit as we drove a whole lot of traffic from all the viewers that are interested in the live scoring result this weekend.
Sure. Well, so finally, Keenan, Madison, Wisconsin has been an awesome host for the last 2 years here. Can you reveal where Bouldering Nationals is going to be for next year?
Oh, the $1 million question. Yeah, I'm very happy to announce that we'll be going to Salt Lake City in the Salt Palace for the next 2 years for USA Climbing Bouldering National Championships. Thanks to support from the Utah Sports Commission, the great folks at Salt Lake City. There is a rich competition history in Salt Lake City, way back to the Professional Climbers Association, led by Scott Meckler running the PCA comps. And I'm psyched to see it return. There's a lot of energy around the dynamic comp that happens around the trade show, and we look to be in Salt Lake City at a similar time frame as trade show, right around there, and hope to make an impact with a great competition.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Keenan. Really appreciate your insight.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate being here.
Yeah, thanks, Keenan. Enjoy the show. All right, thanks to Keenan Wagner for stopping by, USA Climbing Executive Director. Chris, while the athletes continue their route preview here, let's talk about how we got here to finals tonight. First, let's start with the women. We started with 45 in qualifiers yesterday. Whittled the field down to 6 through semifinals this morning. Very interesting dynamic playing out here for the women.
It's been really crazy. Yeah, we've had some surprises, like Michaela Kirsch, for example, in 3rd place coming into finals. That is a surprise. It wasn't a surprise after qualifiers because she climbed so well, but to keep that momentum going through semis was awesome from Michaela Kirsch.
Yeah, Michaela took the year off last year, so she's back at Nationals in a big way, making it into finals.
Another big surprise I thought was seeing Sierra Blair Coyle, who finished in 14th place in qualifiers, and then she just jumped up and made it into finals. I don't think we've seen Sierra in finals in a long time.
Yeah, Sierra in finals on the strength of finishing the last semifinal, one of the only competitors to finish it. Really nice performance by her in qualifiers. She was neck and neck with Megan Martin and Claire Burfine. They're all stacked up in that 4, 5, 6 range in semifinals. And of course, at the top of the field, Alex Puccio and Megan Mascarenas neck and neck, literally, during qualifiers and semifinals.
No surprise there necessarily, huh?
Yeah, not much separating them at this point. Obviously, Alex is the reigning 9-time national champion. Still waiting to see if Megan or one of these other finalists can unseat her.
That really is the $1 million question here tonight, Brian, because Alex Puccio is definitely looking for her 10th win. This would be the first time ever anyone would win 10 competitions here. National champion 9 times in a row, but Megan Mascarenas is on her heels. She's been climbing super well, coming in first, entering finals, and this is really going to be a close one.
Yeah, even last year, a lot of people thought it might be the year that for Megan to overtake Alex, and I believe Megan finished in 4th position, so she's looking to improve on that this year, and finally unseat Alex Puccio on top of the women's bouldering game here in the United States. And transitioning to the men, another interesting round of competitions for the men leading up to finals. 90 men in qualifiers yesterday. We had a very diverse set of men make it to semifinals. A lot of new names near the top, but as the semifinals came to a close, the cream really rose to the top.
That's right. That's a good way to put it, Brian. Yeah, you're looking at the names who are in finals for the men, and no huge surprises, except that Kai Leitner, our sport climbing national champion from last year, only 16 years old. He came into finals in 2nd place. That to me is surprising, though his name is not, because he sure is a up-and-coming competitor.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people at home have heard about him. He's obviously one of the brightest stars on the American climbing scene, for sure. And in 1st place, coming into finals, Nathaniel Coleman. Nathaniel made finals last year here as well. Couldn't quite put it together in finals, but this year he's looking really strong, and he's riding a real wave of confidence coming off several victories in other comps leading up to nationals.
And that's right. And similar to Alex Puccio, Daniel Woods is going to be defending his 9 wins at nationals as well. So we have these 2 reigning people, men and women, Alex and Daniel, and so many strong climbers right behind them who could take them. Ty Landman, for one, he climbed so strong in both qualifiers and semis. He is definitely a contender for the podium.
Yeah, it's a real throwback for the bottom 4 men that qualified. Ty Landman, Daniel Woods, Carlo Traversi, Jimmy Webb. Some of the best boulders ever, all making into finals here. And you do notice for the men, there are 7 climbers, and that's because our defending winner of this event, Mohamed Jafari, is a foreign national. He was born in Iran, so he does not count as far as the winning the national championship, but he can still win the competition like he did last year, coming out of nowhere. This year, no surprise, no sneaking up on us.
That's right.
To make it into finals here, so really looking forward to see how he does in finals here this tonight.
That's right. So Mohamed Jafari won last year. Tell us a little bit about the scoring.
Yeah, so the scoring system that we use here at Nationals is called the combined rank system. Of course, the most important criteria, as with any competition, is getting to the top of the most problems. We want to see athletes get to the top. That's going to be the defining criteria. After that, we move on to what's called combined rank. And the best way to think about this is that each problem that the competitors compete on is a separate competition. And we want to rank the competitors on each problem based on if they get to the top, then the number of attempts it takes them to get to the top, and after that, highest handhold and number of attempts to get to that highest handhold. And what happens then is the competitor's given a rank on each problem, and that rank is then combined across all 4 problems to get their combined rank.
That's right, and this is hopefully going to be displayed in a way tonight after each problem. During commercial break, we'll come back and we're going to try to have the updated scores for you. We'll see if we can make that happen.
While these competitors finish out their route previews, we're going to take a quick break and come back with the action you've been waiting all weekend for. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the 2016 USA Climbing Bouldering National Championships. We are live at the Monona Terrace in Madison, Wisconsin. Brian Reynolds and Chris Widener here, getting set to get our first competitors out on the wall. The way this will work is that each man, one man and one woman will be out on their respective first problems. As soon as one of them is done, the next competitor will come out, and we'll just keep moving through like that. And then the competitors will move on to their next problem as a group. So all the men and all the women will climb their first problem, and then we'll move on as a group to problems 2, 3, and 4.
That's right. Coming up first for the women, we're going to see Sierra Blair Coyle coming out. She's 22 years old and been competing for many years, but not often seen in the finals of a national competition. And Jimmy Webb is going to be our first male out. He's 28 years old and needs little introduction. One of the favorite competitors as well as best outdoor climbers on Earth.
Yeah, Jimmy Webb, one of the best climbers on the entire planet. Hashtag fear the beard.
During semis, there were a couple problems set next to each other, Brian, and I remember your great comment about how I think it was Megan Mascarenas almost dabbed on Jimmy's beard as her feet flew off from the starting dyno. That was great.
Gonna want to look for that during finals here. Right, await the appearance of Sierra Blair Coyle. There she is.
She's got to be super happy with just getting to finals. She had to defeat a bunch of super strong women to get here, and she is just thrilled.
Remember, the most important thing for these climbers is to get to the top of as many problems as they can. And to do that, they need to match both of their hands in the finish boxes that you'll see on these walls. Start with both hands in the boxes at the start of the problems. Both hands in the box at the top of the problem. It's easy as that. As we are about to get underway, 2016 Bouldering Nationals. Who will be our national champion for the men and the women? Starts right now with Jimmy Webb.
And on the far right, out of Scottsdale, Arizona, the birthday girl, Sierra Blair Coyle.
The men starts with a really interesting problem here, Chris.
Yeah, it looks really crazy. I mean, there's all sorts of ways you could start this problem. And apparently that's not one of them.
It's really hard to know what to make of that hold out to the left there, and we'll get back to that as Sierra comes up to women's number one. Another cryptic looking problem.
Of note is Sierra Blair Coyle is celebrating her birthday today. So what an amazing birthday present to be here at Bouldering Nationals.
Climbers do have a time limit. There's a 5-minute time limit. The judges down in the mats will be keeping that for each climber. Because of the way that this works, we can't show you the timer like we did this morning. It is unique to each problem, but we'll get a good sense of what the time remaining is. The climbers have 5 minutes to try as many times as they want, and as long as they're on the wall when time expires, they have as much time after that as they want for their final attempt.
A major difference from the qualifiers and semis, Brian. I'm glad you brought that up. It used to be that they were called off, but that's right. They can start at 4:59 and then have as much time as they need to finish the problem. Meanwhile, the reason we can't show you that clock is because if one of the competitors finishes first, we're going to immediately roll on with the next competitor of each sex. So that will invariably become a different clock here pretty soon, I'm sure.
Both climbers struggling to establish on the wall.
Well, if this finals round is anything like qualifiers and semis, Brian, these problems aren't easy. None of these people, except for Daniel in the qualifiers, got to top of all the problems. We saw more failures than we did tops in the last round. So it doesn't surprise me that these problems are going to be harder and really testing the competitors' skills.
We did take a look at that problem that Sierra was on there. The hole she's going to is reasonably good underneath, but the feet that she's on are not very good. Shimmy, known for being one of the best jumpers in bouldering, but having a hard time figuring this out. Competitors have been back in isolation for the last hour or so, warming up, getting ready for finals. But it all changes when you come out here under the big lights. It's a nerve-wracking experience for sure.
I'm sure Jimmy is feeling baffled right now. Normally on problem one, he'd be able to actually at least get established. Same goes for Sierra Blair Coyle there.
This crowd just wants to see somebody stick a move.
Yeah, the crowd erupted when Jimmy Webb snagged those first two holds for a split second, but just was not able to hold on. He's kind of trying the same strategy over and over, thinking it's going to work.
Yeah, that's interesting. Usually the climbers would try something different. It's just 10 seconds left for both. The Sierra almost sticks that. Jimmy, probably his last attempt just right now. Not going to happen for Jimmy Webb.
Well, kind of an underwhelming start for these competitors, but hey, that's how it goes. We're going to see how things roll on here. We are bringing the competitors out in reverse order of how they finished in semifinals. So as we get going, the stakes just get higher, Brian.
That's right, Chris. And coming up next for the men, we have one Carlo Traversi, longtime figure on the American competition scene. Megan Martin for the women.
I'm really happy to see Megan Martin make it to the finals. She had a great competition at Seco Block Masters this year. She's placed so-so in a bunch of other comps, but it was so great to see her. She told me earlier her goal for this entire competition was just to make it to finals. And so here she is, and she's just going to give it all she's got.
Mission accomplished. And Megan making
boom, high point.
Quick work, yeah. Megan just cruising right away on women's number 1. It's a long way to go to that finish hole.
An amazing first effort on that problem.
Let's see if Carlo can fare any better than Jimmy Webb. Carlo qualified for semifinals in 20th place. Did not have a very good qualifier round yesterday, but did very well in semifinals this morning to make it into finals here tonight.
Yeah, just squeaking in. Carlo Traversi. You never know what to expect from him. He's super powerful. He's on the shorter side for male competitors, but always puts on a great show.
You have to wonder if that's the intended sequence for the men on the first problem or not. See if anybody tries a different method here. See Carlo looking around. Carlo has been in finals numerous times at nationals, so he knows that things aren't always as they first appear.
Now, competitors cannot touch the black lines of tape that are on the wall. So if anybody out there is thinking about Carlo grabbing the arete, that is absolutely off. And Carlo just sticks the first move with one hand. He sticks the first hold. That was incredible.
You can see that he did that by sticking his left foot underneath the start hold, using all the tools in his bag of tricks. Carlo Traversi.
And he knows from the yell of the crowd, he's hamming it up, looking at the crowd. He knows that he has gotten the high points so far. And to have already gotten higher than Jimmy Webb is a big deal for Carlo Traversi.
Megan coming off on women's 1. Carlo zeroing in on the finish hold.
This appears to be one of the most bizarre finishing holds I've ever seen. A giant bathtub undercling.
Carlo Traversi coming out of the gate.
Oh yeah.
Finishing men's number 1. Great effort from Carlo Traversi.
And there is no doubt that Carlo just finished problem 1. All of the men know that they must get up to that as well. That was an awesome performance from Carlo. Meanwhile, Megan Martin is still working on her problem over there, looking great, but not quite topping it out yet.
And like you said, Chris, the crowd reaction will indicate to the other climbers that Carlo finished that problem. The climbers are out back behind the wall, so they're not here watching what happens. But they get a pretty good idea of what happens just from listening.
In fact, Brian, the crowd is so loud, even with my earphone in, I can barely hear you, and we're sitting 6 inches away from each other. This is great.
Yeah, there's
what
an incredible
energy
crowd here tonight. Standing room only at the Monona Terrace. Megan Martin trying to find some standing room on top of that volume on women's number 1.
As usual, she has a smile on her face. Like I said, she's just happy to be here in finals. I think the fact that she's even climbing here, looking at this big crowd cheering for her, is icing on the cake of just being here. She is such a friendly, fun competitor.
And right away out for the men, our defending national champion and 9-time national champion overall, Daniel Woods, needs no introduction. One of the best climbers in the world for seemingly ever.
That's right.
Megan working for the crowd here. She's got to be running out of time. Yes, this is Megan Martin's last attempt on women's number 1. See if she can figure out this move. The crowd is behind her. See if she tries a different method this time. She got her left foot up on that hold underneath the volume, perching her way, just barely missing the finish hold.
Just out of reach for Megan Martin, and that was it for her on problem 1. You may recognize Megan Martin from American Ninja Warrior. She has placed very well in the past, and she was on the show this year as well.
I'll see if Daniel can figure out the tricky method that Carlo used. We saw Carlo do something similar in semifinals, breaking out the toe hook on men's number 2 that none of the other competitors did. It's what helped propel him to finals here tonight. Let's see if Daniel Woods can figure this out. One of the most experienced competitors.
That was close.
He tried the same thing that Carlo did, so I think he felt like that would work. Let's see if he can figure it out.
It's so hard to tell here from the views what that first hold is like that they're jumping to, but it is just barely an indentation on an otherwise totally sloping hold with so texture. It is almost unthinkable to actually hold on to that.
Yeah, I think the only thing that really works for the climbers is that that hole is on a flatter angle of wall that is different from where they're starting. That gives them a little bit more compression between their left hand and the right hand as they switch to the left toe on the start hold. Crowd just waiting for Daniel to stick this move.
Oh, that was
looked
so
like he had
close.
it there.
Any subtle shift in the placement of his toes or his hips or anything can make these angles go from feeling impossible to just barely doable. And Daniel right now is still in that process of figuring out exactly every body position he needs to be in to make this happen. Daniel has 1 minute left to get off the ground on problem number 1.
It's really important to get off to a good start here. There are only 4 boulders. So few opportunities to get to the top of problems here. Daniel Woods finally sticks it.
There it is, folks, our 9-time Bouldering Nationals champion. With the time clock ticking, this will definitely be his last chance on problem number 1. And the crowd definitely wants to see it top.
Daniel Woods knows this is his last attempt. Gonna make it count here. He knows the importance of getting to the top of these problems. So few opportunities. Claire Burfine, so close on women's 1. Daniel Woods.
Daniel taking his time because he has it. But if he drops off, that's it.
Really getting his money's worth right now.
Contemplating the jump or the mega high steps like Carlo did. Either way, this thing is heinous.
Interesting hold out there, actually. Where he is, that hold is pretty much a jug.
Yep.
Not quite sure the intended use for it, but
I think it's the toe hook that these guys have been using. I'm not sure Carlo's beta is going to work for Daniel. It certainly would suit a powerful, shorter climber like Carlo. This will be really interesting to see what Daniel decides on because he has only 1 shot.
Daniel Woods pressing into this final move on men's number 1, and he sticks it with 1 hand. He's going to bring his left hand in. Oh no!
Our 9-time champion is grabbing his hair. He is clearly disappointed. He thought he might have had it.
That is a big development here early for Daniel Woods. Claire Burfine.
Claire Burfine
finishing
women's
number
top
1.
out. Women's number 1 in an amazing effort. Double Gastoning the wings, the finishing wings of women's problem 1. Claire Burfine, certainly a favorite for the podium tonight.
Great work from Claire Burfine. Do not forget that moment for Daniel Woods on men's number 1. 1 hand on the finish hold. Could not bring his second hand on to secure the finish, so he will not get credit for completing that problem. That is going to be a big, big factor coming up as we move through this final round.
One thing we were talking about earlier, Brian, is the mental game of this, the confidence that Daniel may or may not have lost after just not quite squeaking by on that first problem. It is such a huge boon to the confidence and to the performance if competitors can come out and dominate the first problem. It just helps them. We saw that a bunch in qualies and semis. Some competitors came out and failed on 1 or 2 or 3 problems and just looked and acted defeated for the rest of the time. We just have to hope that Daniel Woods, our 9-time champion, can keep his head in the game, recover it, and arrive fresh at the second problem.
And speaking of confidence, out on men's number 1, Ty Landman. Another incredibly talented climber. 25 years old. Ty really burst onto the scene 5 or 6 years ago when he moved to Boulder, crushing the hardest problems in the US and in Europe. Then took a little bit of a break to focus on school, but he's back doing what Ty Landman does.
There's Michaela Kirsch.
Kayla's a local favorite here. She's from Chicago, Illinois. Been winning comps here in the Midwest for seemingly ever. Great to see her back at Bouldering Nationals, out here in finals. Plenty of time for Ty Landman. Sounds like he's got about 2 minutes to start out men's number 1.
People, when I announced Michaela's name, I heard a whole section go crazy. Where are you now?
Michaela Kirsch working it for the women, getting some crowd support.
1 minute 45 seconds for Ty Landman on the left.
Seeing Ty figure it out. Very interesting to see the process that all the competitors have gone through to figure out this first men's problem.
Awesome.
Not obvious at all that you need to use your left foot in conjunction with your right hand. See how Ty can fare on the rest of the problem. Trying to match Carla Traversi, who's the only competitor to have finished men's number 1 so far.
Ty Landman. I'll remind you that the competitors in isolation must have heard the thrill of the crowd for Carlo Traversi. He probably knows that somebody has topped out this problem.
Ty coming off there. See if he can get back up to that high point. He's got enough time to take a break, still get back on the wall.
Michaela Kirsch eyeing up her route for another attempt.
Yeah, she has been struggling to get established on that first undercling there.
30 seconds to go.
Previewing the problems, Brian, we did take a look at a few of these and wondered how height was going to play a part, especially there in women's number 1. We will have a chance pretty soon here to talk to Jeremy Harden, one of the head route setters, to get some insight on these problems.
We got Ty back on men's number 1. What is his last attempt? He knows that he needs to get to the top of this problem. He's just pressing his way up, using the left toe.
Gets the toe hook.
Got to bring his right hand in, not able to reel it in. Ty Landman, a lot of the men grasping their heads as they hit the mat on men's number 1. That's going to be it for him. He will go back to isolation after conferring with the judges on his score there.
Michaela Kirsch still with a little bit of time on the clock, smiling and asking for some support from the hometown audience here in Madison, Wisconsin. Just not quite making it happen there.
Next up are the guys on the left. We have last year's winner.
Coming up next on the mats, last year's winner, 2015 ABS Nationals, Muhammad Jafari. Coming out for the women, our second place semifinal qualifier and 9-time reigning national champion, Alex Puccio, back in finals once again.
We're looking at last year's winners right now. This is going to be an exciting round. We'll see how they feel. You can gauge a lot about what's going on in these competitors' minds by how they attack the wall on their very first problem. It often will set the tone for the rest of the night.
It's one of Alex's first big comps back after a devastating knee injury she sustained last June at the Vail World Cup. She's been slowly working her way back into climbing the last couple of months. Doesn't look like she's missed a beat though, based on her performance in qualifiers and semifinals. See if she can keep the momentum going here during finals.
A flash is really important to potential winners like Alex Puccio, and she got past the hard first move, no problem.
Alex Puccio eyeing up the finish.
Oh, that's gotta have, she's gotta have a little hesitation there. She mentioned to me earlier before this finals round that she is a little hesitant. It goes through her mind about jumping off from the top of these walls with that knee injury. She is in recovery. It's been many months, but she's still not 100%. So I can only imagine that last move on women's one is going to be kind of playing with her mind a little bit.
Trying to get the crowd behind her. Seems like she's still feeling good about this first problem.
Fell off the first move again.
Not able to figure out the first move on men's number one. Keep you posted on that.
Just under 2 minutes to go on the left from Muhammad Jafari.
Alex Puccio looking like she's going to have another shot at getting to those finishing holds. She wants it. She wants that 10th win.
Alex
Oh
Puccio.
my God.
Just driving up into that finish of women's number one with
Synchronized
authority.
limbs.
Nice job by Alex Puccio.
She is so psyched about that. That was awesome to watch.
Last year's winner, Muhammad Jafari, struggling on men's number one. Should have enough time for a few more attempts.
Like we explained earlier, Muhammad's finishing his attempts here on men's one, but because Alex Puccio finished already, Megan Mascarenhas is now stepping up to the wall. Megan Mascarenhas is the young contender who very well could unseat Alex Puccio's reign.
Yeah, we've been waiting for it for a couple years now. Megan's been coming up each year, just inching closer and closer to dethroning Alex Puccio. This is where it starts for her.
Just 18 years old, Megan Mascarenhas climbs like a very seasoned veteran.
15 seconds for Muhammad.
Meanwhile, Muhammad has given men's one his final try. He did not make it past the first move.
Crowd urging him to get back on the wall. He's going to give it one more try. Not able to pull it together.
Okay, now he's actually done. Great effort there by Muhammad Jafari. Megan tried the first couple moves a couple times and got a lot closer that time. Jeremy, it's great to have you here in the booth. Can you maybe just tell us a little bit about the problems? And like, for example, what Kai's on here, what did you intend with this sequence?
So the first problem, we were hoping for a little dynamic toe hook throw. As to control the first right-hand sloper, they're going to need that left toe hook to engage.
Nice, and that's exactly what Carlo and Daniel did to make it past that.
Exactly, and it shows you right there that, right there, Kai almost reached past it, but it was nice to see Carlo, with the shorter of the finalists, was able to reach that and control it just as fine as some of these taller guys.
And Megan here, she's a little shorter. Is that going to hurt her on this competition problem?
Not on this problem. Our forerunners are about 5'4", 5'5". We try to set for all sorts of different heights and styles, everything like that.
Oh,
exactly.
Yes, look at that. Different ways to do it.
Megan Mascarenhas trying to perch on that volume. See if she can maintain her center of gravity. Such a tenuous moment for Megan Mascarenas.
Oh my gosh.
Just the crowd erupting here in Madison, Wisconsin. Trying to urge her up into that. Incredible for Megan Mascarenas. Making it look easy.
And that style, that is just the perfect example of how Alex Puccio and Megan Mascarenas differ in their climbing styles. Alex Puccio, just the burl fest, and Megan just styling casually up to the top. Meanwhile, Kai Leitner, better known as the sport climbing champion of 2015, here performing better than, I want to say, better than most people expected, honestly. He is doing awesome.
Kai Leitner trying to become the second man to finish men's number 1. He's
No
going to do it.
problem for Kai Leitner.
Finishing. Joining Carlo Traversi as the only other man to finish men's number 1. Great job from Kai Leitner, our second place qualifier coming into finals. And that leaves one last male competitor, our number 1 qualifier, young Nathaniel Coleman from Salt Lake City, Utah. Nathaniel finished in the top 6 at Nationals last year and then went on an absolute tear, getting 2 silver medals on the adult World Cup circuit, winning the recent Dark Horse Championships and the recent Dynamic Comp in Salt Lake City, beating Danny Woods at both of those last 2 competitions, trying to finally beat Danny Woods at Bouldering Nationals.
Kai and Nathaniel Coleman are our only 2 teenagers in the men's field of finalists. The average age of these guys actually being about 25 years old. Nathaniel's 19.
As I said, people, the action never stops. All of our female competitors have gone through number 1. Now it is up.
Jeremy, I'm going to ask you one more question. Thanks again for being here. Head route setter?
Yes, sir.
Now, did you change or tweak any of these problems once you found out who exactly made it to the finals?
Yep, we tweak each round of the competition depending on how the results go. There's Nathaniel Coleman. We basically gain information from each round and we use that to tweak the following round.
That's awesome. It's cool to see that you guys are really customizing the style of the problems. And here's Nathaniel.
Getting close to the top of men's number 1. Just 1 move left.
And this is his first attempt, or
I think he found.
okay, second attempt. And like we said, when competitors make it to the top, multiple competitors, it comes down to attempts.
Nathaniel Coleman.
And Nathaniel Coleman.
Burley Gaston move. Nice work by our number 1 qualifier, Nathaniel Coleman, coming out and showing why he's in first place coming into finals. I thank Jeremy Hart for stopping by. Jeremy, thank you. We are just getting started here at the 2016 Bouldering National Championships. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Even the best laid plans are only suggestions, because there are always forks in the roads and options for everything. How do you adventure?
Welcome back to the final round of the 2016 USA Climbing Bouldering National Championships. We are done with our first problem of 4, and we're going to get a quick look at our first live scoring update. Alex Puccio in front on the strength of finishing the problem in the fewest number of attempts, followed closely by Megan Mascarenas and Claire Burfine. Megan Martin, Michaela Kearse, Sierra Blair-Coyle have their work cut out for them at this point. For the men, Nathaniel Coleman out in front, Kai Leitner, Carlo Traversi just behind him. Nathaniel in first place because he did the first problem in the fewest number of attempts of the 3 climbers that completed it. Daniel Woods gonna have to make a move here in the last 3 problems.
That's right. It's not at all clear who's going to take this one, that's for sure. We still have 3 problems out of 4 to go. Competitors have 5 minutes on each problem. Joining us here in the booth, special guest Emily Harrington, a former national bouldering competition climber and sport climbing national competition climber. Emily, thank you so much for being here with us and joining the commentary.
Thank you for having me. It's been a super exciting final so far, I think, and I can't wait to see what's next.
And for the guys, we have Mr. Jimmy Webb.
Sierra Blair Coyle out again. This is again in reverse order, so we go through all of the women and all of the men and then bring them back for the next problem. So here's Sierra Blair Coyle, first up on women's problem number 2. Looks like a bunch of tiles just sprayed onto the wall. Most of the surfaces are not good enough to just pull down on. Jimmy Webb there on men's number 2.
Jimmy's not waiting for the lights to come on. He is just going for it in the dark.
Probably similar to how he sends some problems outdoors, isn't it?
Yeah, feels right in his element right now.
It's interesting to note there are only 2 handholds on men's problem number 2 between the start and the finish.
Jimmy really struggled on the first problem. He knows that he needs a top here if he wants to keep pace. Try and catch up with Nathaniel Coleman. Jimmy.
It just looks like rock wrestling up there.
And he is not going to give up. Turn around.
Jimmy Webb coming out,
I think
eyeing up the flash on men's number 2. It's like a very difficult finishing match though for Jimmy Webb. And just as the lights come on, Jimmy Webb flashing men's number 2.
Flashing it.
right as the lights came on.
Right back in the mix for Jimmy Webb.
A photo finish for Jimmy Webb flashing men's number 2. He did not top out men's number 1, only 3 men did, so he needed that in order to stay in the runnings here. Sierra Blair Coyle, meanwhile, getting a few moves into women's problem 2. Didn't quite find a rhythm yet. Just taking a quick breather and she'll get right back in there. What do you think's going through Sierra's head right now? She did not top out number 1. Emily, any insight?
You know, I think on this problem especially, it's definitely sort of a choose your own adventure type of problem. There's a lot of holds on the wall, and I'm sure she's just trying to decipher which ones are the ones that the route setter's meant for you to grab.
Got it. Looks like there might be a couple different ways to climb it.
Yeah.
But wow, all of those holds upon close inspection, which we had a chance to do, are horrible.
Yes, and some of them are definitely facing the wrong way.
A confused look on her face, kind of demonstrating exactly what we're just talking about. How do you hold on to this thing? Sierra Blair Coyle, thrilled to be in finals. And the powerhouse Carlo Traversi making the jump intro to men's problem number 2.
Carlo already with 1 top on first problem. Looking for top number 2.
This is going to be a reach for Carlo. He'll have to do a leg press. There he is. Fitting in there a little bit better than Jimmy Webb did. Jimmy Webb being 6 feet tall.
Carlo seems to have found his rhythm tonight. See if he can pull this off.
Oh,
Yes.
nice from Carlo Traversi. Making it look easy. 2 for 2 for Carlo.
Very impressive. You bring up a good point, Emily. This could be the night that Carlo Traversi finds his rhythm well enough to podium here at Bouldering Nationals.
It certainly looks like he's on his way, at least. He's climbing really well, really confident.
a determined Sierra Blair Coyle, trying to figure out the mysterious tiles of women's number 2.
People, in case you did not know, Daniel Woods is 7-time national champion. 7 times.
Daniel
There he
Woods
goes.
on his second attempt, getting to the starting holds of men's problem number 2, that both Carlo and Jimmy have flashed.
Daniel kind of needs this one right now.
Indeed, because even if he tops this out, he will already be docked points for not having flashed it.
Yep. Hopefully he can pull it out and keep himself in the running.
And he'll know just from the amount of time he didn't have to wait for this problem that both Jimmy and Carlo finished it. So the pressure is really on for Daniel Woods here, especially since he didn't do the first problem. Needs to finish this, have really any hope of trying to keep pace.
Hopefully he needs to be a little bit patient with the match.
The other climbers had their right hand on the right side of that hold.
There he
But who
goes.
needs it? There he is, defending champion Daniel Woods. Second try on problem number 2 for the men.
So 3 men and 3 tops on problem number 2. Just raises the level of importance for getting to the top of that problem for the remaining male competitors.
Lucky 13, Megan Martin, trying her luck here on women's problem number 2, the tile problem that baffled Sierra Blair Coyle. Let's see if Megan can make any sense of this puzzle.
Megan is up and moving on the puzzle pieces.
Meanwhile, there's Ty Landman brushing men's number 2 and eyeing it up for his first attempt.
Earlier, there was one good hold on it, and I think it's a foot.
Oh.
A swing and a miss for Ty Landman. Not very close there even.
No, he's definitely going to have to go more aggressively next time.
Seems like Ty is having a hard time getting.
He tried to go just to the right side.
You need to get both your right hand and your left hand squeezing on those start holds.
And he doesn't seem to be getting enough height either. I think he needs to jump higher.
It is
right.
It's pretty difficult to run and jump on these mats.
And it's super hard to get the timing right as well.
Meanwhile, Megan Martin getting pretty high here so far. The high point on women's number 2.
Ty Lemon making it work.
There
Now
he
he's on the
goes.
start of the problem.
There goes Ty campusing the gray blobs of men's problem 2.
There he goes with the feet. He's going to be a little tired, though, after all of that.
He's
That's
definitely
right.
going to want to finish it on this try.
It's a lot of squeezing going on.
Meanwhile, Megan's making good work,
Megan is looking relaxed.
resting her way up.
Ty.
Speaking of relaxed, Ty Landman taking a fun little break there to chalk up with a no-hands knee bar. That's my kind of climbing.
Ty Lemon and Megan Martin both getting close to the top of their respective problems right now.
All of the competitors are thankful for their tricep workouts here on men's problem number 2. Megan Martin just one hold away from the finish.
Dueling extreme sports action here at Bouldering Nationals.
This is exactly what we came here for tonight. Megan Martin. Megan
yes!
Martin, the first to top out women's number 2, and Ty Landman, if he can just match that pink hold, he's got it.
Yep. Awesome.
And he sure does have it.
Nice work by Ty Landman. I think he's going to be penalized a little bit for the number of attempts it took him to get established on that problem. You see he's not happy.
That's right, Brian. So far, every man has topped out that problem, and Ty has taken by far the most attempts, and that's going to reflect directly in his score.
Yeah, within the scoring system, even though Ty did finish the problem, he's actually going to be ranked last so far among the 4 men that have climbed it, just based on the number of attempts it took him to get to the top. Jimmy Webb flashed it. Can't do much better than that.
We're seeing Claire Burfind, our youngest female competitor at 17 years old. She's also the tallest at 5'11". Mohammed Jafari, the tallest male competitor as well.
And he stuck that on his first try.
Mohammed trying to...
This would be huge for Mohammed.
Yes, because he did not complete problem number 1.
Trying to match the effort of Jimmy Webb, who came out and did this problem on his first attempt. So far, the only climber to do that. Just pressing those back and shoulder muscles. So strenuous.
Mohammed Jafari poised to finish.
Yeah, he did not seem to struggle that much.
Unless he makes a big mistake here. No, Mohammed Jafari.
Yeah.
Easy flash of men's number 2. He definitely needed that after not finishing the first problem.
Claire also on her flash attempt.
Claire Burfine. 2 for 2 for Claire Burfine.
Yeah.
Wow. She is smiling huge for the camera. She is absolutely thrilled. She made it to the top on her first try. That's going to pay huge dividends later.
Based on how the other men did, you would expect Kai Leitner to do pretty well in this problem.
Yeah.
Sticking it. Kai Leitner just levitating up this problem right now.
It's worth noting that these guys who finished this problem quickly, unlike Ty Landman, they will have that much more time to rest. And of course, they use that much less energy. So it's exponentially better for these competitors to jump on the wall and finish these problems as soon as they can. It just increases their chances later on.
Also important to remember that they also climbed this morning.
You're absolutely right. As Brian pointed out earlier, Kai, less than 24 hours ago, was still in isolation, waiting to come out for the qualifying round. So there is Kai Leitner flashing that problem.
That said, he did not have that much trouble with that one.
No.
Michaela trying to work out the bottom of women's number 2. See if she can find the right tiles to grab.
So you're just, almost looks like she's reading Braille there, just trying to feel the holds and find the best one to hold on to.
And turning around, facing number 2, Nathaniel Coleman.
In the foreground there is Nathaniel Coleman, first coming into finals. Sticks the jump on his first attempt.
Definitely looking relaxed.
Daniel Coleman was first coming out of problem number 1. If he can flash problem number 2, he would maintain that dominant position. Be positioned nicely for the last 2 problems.
These guys are illustrating exactly why every single attempt is so crucial for their score.
Nathaniel Coleman making quick work. Men's number 2 for his
Not
second top of this
problem.
final round. Chalk that one up on his scorecard. A flash for Nathaniel Coleman. All smiles.
The same 3 guys who topped out number 1 also topped out number 2. I guess they all have, haven't they?
All 7 men finished the second problem, but a variety of attempts needed for them, so there will be some differentiation between their scores when we take a look at them in just a few minutes here. First, we have 3 women remaining on women's number 2. Michaela Kirsch needs to get a top on this. She wants to try and get back in the mix, get on the podium here at Nationals. Wall is just off vertical.
There's about 5 times more holds on women's number 2
Yeah.
as on men's number 2. Which is probably why it's taking a little bit longer.
That's right. Michaela Kirsch performing very well here. If she can hold it together for one more hold.
She's chalking up.
Michaela Kirsch getting back in the game here with a top on women's number 2.
Nice.
There
Nice
she
work from
is.
Michaela Kirsch. The crowd
Big
here was
slap.
nothing more than for her to have a great finals.
An excellent performance from Michaela Kirsch. After an exhausting effort, it looks like it takes so much time to figure that problem out that a lot of energy goes into it.
Yeah, it definitely looks a little bit more like an outdoor climb. Like you don't have to use every hold.
That's right. Whereas what we call the World Cup style problems, like men's number 2, is unlike anything you'd actually encounter outdoors. It's more like a very specific competition style of climbing.
Sort of like parkour.
That's right.
The parkour problem.
Parkour on plastic walls.
I like it though. I like the variety.
What were the holds like and the routes like, or problems rather, when you were competing in Bouldering Nationals, Emily, about 10 years ago?
There were very few volumes. Actually, probably no volumes at all. And it was a lot more just like what you'd experience at a normal climbing gym.
Some holds on the wall that you could actually grab.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
far less fun to watch though.
Agreed.
And I really like where the sport has gone, actually. I think it's cool.
Alex Puccio, our 9-time Bouldering Nationals champion. She knows that every attempt counts, and so she is going to gun for the flash as hard as she can. She wants this bad.
I think she should be okay as long as she can maintain her composure.
I was talking to Alex earlier, and one of the things she mentioned to me after the semifinals was that there was kind of a dispute over which hold she controlled in semifinals, and she filed a complaint, but it did not get granted. So it kind of lit a fire under Alex. She was kind of upset, and I think she is channeling that into her performance tonight. She wants to make sure there is no doubt that she will be the champion again.
Yeah, that's definitely a good attitude to have. If there's anything questionable going on, hopefully she can channel that into something positive.
Exactly. Let's see if she can do that successfully.
Oh.
Ooh, a surprise slip from Alex Puccio. Very interesting. The other competitors have not had a problem right there.
Yeah, she looked like she rushed it a little bit.
As we said, it's hard to tell exactly how much time she has left, but she took quite a bit of it, previewing and on her first attempt there. She only has 15 more seconds, so she gets on that wall, and this will absolutely be her last try. Three of the 4 women who have gone so far did manage to top this out. It would be a shock if Alex Puccio did not top this out.
Yep. She needs to try to relax.
Yeah, if she can't finish this, it opens the door wide open for Megan Mascarenas. And Claire
Oh
Burford.
my gosh.
$35 seconds left for Alex Puccio here on women's number 2.
Yeah, we
Plenty of
earlier
time.
we made a mistake there. We heard 15 seconds announced, but apparently that was about something else. So this now will probably be her last attempt. 30 seconds left. A reminder that knee brace she's wearing is from surgery that she had 6 or 7 months ago after a devastating injury just warming up at the Vail World Cup in June of last year. This is her first big competition since then, and she wants it bad.
Such
She
a
needs
pressure-filled
to channel
moment for
that
Alex
fire.
Puccio. This is the kind of moment she's excelled in, though, over the years.
Yeah.
Don't win nationals 9 times without coming through in moments like this.
God, you could just see the tension in her fingers wanting it.
Yep, she's used to this type of pressure.
Over gripping everything to ensure she does not slip again.
There she goes. It looks like there's a little bit of a rest right here, actually. My hands are sweating.
I know, there's tension in the crowd. You can just feel it right now. Everybody is just motionless watching Alex Puccio,
Come on, Alex.
hoping for
Come
something.
on. There she goes.
Alex Puccio making it work. Almost bobbled it right there, but she held it together. I did not know how she did that. Alex Puccio coming through.
Oh, and that's got to be so hard on that injured knee doing a high step.
Wow, she's grabbing her hip.
Hopefully she's
Hope
okay.
she's all right. Definitely keep an eye on that.
Alex Puccio not looking very good right now.
Oh, she's in some pain. That is, I hate to see that, Chris. That was
Alex
a big development
Puccio,
here.
our 9-time champion, temporarily sidelined. We will get back to you with what's happening as soon as we find out. A shock that she did not make it to the top there.
2015 took first place at World Cup. That is up against the world best. First place for the USA.
Meanwhile, Megan Mascarenas, her biggest threat to the throne here, walks right by her and gets on the problem. I imagine Megan will not have too much of an issue with this problem.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but I guess you never know.
Yeah, that's right. I would have said the same about Alex Puccio 5 minutes ago.
Like Nathaniel Coleman for the men, Megan Mascarenas won the Vail World Cup last year. Incredible results on the adult international circuit.
Yeah, and she's done well on more than one international competition now, so she definitely has the experience, even though she's only 18 years old.
She certainly has come into her own. There are very few women in the last 9 years we could have said would even threaten Alex Puccio. In fact, last year's second place finisher, Alex Johnson, told me that she feels like she, Alex Johnson herself, won the comp. Why? Because Alex Puccio was so good that she doesn't count. That is not true here tonight with Megan Mascarenas as she dances up the puzzle problem.
So far, Megan does not look like she's having any issue.
It is so hard to tell if anything is hard for her.
It totally is, right? Sometimes she just gets spit off, and it doesn't look like she's trying, although I'm sure she is.
Megan Mascarenas with the easy flash.
But not this time.
Of women's number 2.
No
Very matter of
problem.
fact.
Looking at the judges, just for the double check, thumbs up that she did in fact get seen matching and controlling the finishing hold. I bet her heart is racing right now, Emily.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll try to get an update on Alex Puccio's condition, and we'll get you some updated results after 2 problems. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
For EP, climbing walls and handholds is our business, but that's really not why we're here. We're here to enrich people's lives and introduce climbing to the world. We know that once somebody gets an opportunity to go indoors and climb on a climbing wall, that be a climber for life.
Welcome back to continuing live coverage of the 2016 USA Climbing Bouldering National Championships. This is the final round from the Monona Terrace in Madison, Wisconsin. Taking a look at the updated scores for the men. Nathaniel Coleman and Carlo Traversi on top right now. You see Daniel Woods and Ty Landman slipping back behind Jimmy Webb and Muhammad Jafari because it took them too many attempts to finish problem number 2, a problem that all 7 men completed. So Daniel Woods and Ty Landman really behind the 8 ball now with only 1 top and an unknown status at this point for her future in the competition after coming off awkwardly on the second problem, grabbing her hip. Really hope that she's able to continue to the women's scores. Megan Mascarenas and Claire Burfine well out in front at this point with 2 tops each. Alex Puccio.
Absolutely. It was a shock that she did not make the top of that problem. That just did not give Megan Mascarenas much trouble at all, nor Claire. They both had an easy flash, and Alex worked all of 5 minutes that she had on that problem and just couldn't quite put it together. And like Brian said, a little injury possibly happening. We'll tell you what's going on as soon as we know. Meanwhile, there's Sierra Blair Coyle. First woman on problem 3 out of 4. This competition is already halfway over here. It's hard to believe it's going so fast. There's so much excitement. Jimmy Webb also first guy on men's problem number 3.
Jimmy did not have to evaluate this problem too long from the mat. This looks right up his alley.
Yeah, it definitely looks like his style.
It's his opportunity to get back in the mix here. Just saw with that updated scoring. His performance, flashing problem number 2, moved him up the standings. And Jimmy Webb with the flash on
So
problem number 3.
mellow.
That was too easy for Jimmy Webb.
No issue at all.
Jimmy Webb be like, that's a warm-up.
With the Michael Jordan shoulder shrug there.
Either he's really, really good at grabbing onto those bricks, or the problem is a little bit easy.
That's a good point,
We'll
Emily.
find out.
Yeah, we will find that out, won't we? As I mentioned earlier, that would be kind of a surprise, especially considering that the qualifying problems and semifinal problems all were very, very difficult and got more failures than tops.
Yep.
You know, we have Carlo Traversi coming up, and his pinch strength is legendary as well. So he very well could fly up that problem just like Jimmy Webb did. We'll see what happens.
Sierra is still holding on. Hasn't fallen yet.
Problem 3 for the women looks really, really difficult.
Yeah, that's the one that I couldn't even figure out when I was looking at it. Here goes Carlo, floating. Nope.
Ooh. Yeah, Carlo Traversi not flashing it, but he did top 1 and Jimmy Webb did not, so.
We gotta call it that unique start configuration for the women. Calling that the flan stack around here.
That's right, hashtag flan stack. After Flannery Shade Nemiroff, who is doing some of the route setting and previewing.
Sierra trying to get back into this. She wants any chance of getting into the top couple of spots. She needs to finish this problem.
Carlo Traversi again.
Wow.
Not able to keep his foot on there.
Looking amazing in the first 2 problems.
He's looking a little hesitant. He either needs to keep his foot on or just go all the way and cut the foot as part of the move here. You see there.
Oh.
Now watching Carlo, that was amazing what Jimmy did.
Yeah, it's all relative here in this competition. For all we knew, that problem for Jimmy Webb was like V2, but now Carlo's actually making it look hard. Sierra Blair Coyle here, she has 1 minute left.
She
I
needs
imagine
to try to figure this part out.
That's right, she may have another attempt after this, maybe not.
That looks promising.
Oh! Carlo just sagging a little too much to hold on to that second hold. It is just shocking after how easily Jimmy did that, realizing how difficult That really is Sierra Blair Coyle now stepping up for what will most certainly be her last attempt here on women's problem number 3. If nothing else, Sierra is tenacious.
Yeah, she's had a really good competition.
She
done
has.
super well. Today's her birthday, so she's having a good day.
Great effort from Sierra Blair Coyle there on women's number 3. We are getting word from the back that Alex Puccio is still in the competition. So we'll see how she does coming out soon on women's number 3. Suffered an awkward fall off women's number 2 just a few minutes ago.
Carlo with a little bit of time left here. 30 seconds for Carlo. Wow.
Not going to happen for Carlo. Looks like he's going to get some brushing in. Get one more attempt here. Carlo has started strong, finishing both of the first 2 problems. Going to open the door for some of these other competitors if he's not able to finish this.
Carlo's last attempt here. We'll see if he can put that bench strength to the test. And it's not going to happen for Carlo Traversi on problem number 3. It's still okay. There's still a chance for him because he did so well on the first 2. There's Megan Martin.
On the one to the left for the ladies, Megan Martin.
Trying to decipher what the route setters meant.
Probably not that, but
I don't think they meant that.
That's right. That hold that Sierra was crossing over to, it looks like there's a nice undercut on that second triangle there, but man, that is a tough one to reach. Daniel Woods now testing his mettle.
This looks like a problem that should suit Daniel very well, as it did Jimmy Webb, who flashed it just moments ago.
It does look similar to how Jimmy did. See if he can keep it up.
It's one of the more straightforward power bombs we've seen in the competition this far.
Definitely needs this. Yes.
Daniel
Awesome.
Woods, men's number 3. He definitely needed
Crushed
that
it.
to get back into the competition here.
An impressive flash by Daniel Woods. Doesn't exactly shed light on the difficulty of that problem, though, because from our 9-time champion who wants his 10th here, we would expect nothing less from Daniel Woods.
Yeah, and it seems like he's been having sort of an off day. Yesterday he absolutely crushed, and today he's going to have to make up some ground.
That's absolutely right. The men's field is up in the air, that's for sure. While for the ladies, Megan Mascarenhas and Claire Burfind are the clear front runners at this point, halfway through the competition.
Oh.
Whoa!
Unique. I like it. Yeah.
And Martin
That was a
going for
good,
it.
solid effort.
That beta looked like it served her well. Might have given her a finger injury, but it
like the
definitely got her up
creativity,
there. The windmill whipper from Megan Martin, putting in an excellent effort on women's problem 3. She's still got some time to work this out. Meanwhile, Ty Landman stepping up to problem 3 for the men. Ty has been known as having some of the strongest fingers ever.
I would
We'll see if
expect
he can
Ty
put
to do
those.
pretty well in this problem as well. This really suits his style. It's such an effortless style.
It is not a
floating.
stretch to describe that exactly. I was going to say levitating, Brian, but that is exactly what he's doing.
Ty
See
Landman.
if he can become the third male to flash problem number 3.
Such incredible fitness for Ty
Yep.
Landman. Even though his feet cut, no big deal.
No issue.
Easy flash for Ty Landman. So Jimmy Webb, Daniel Woods, and Ty Landman all easily flashing men's number 3, as one would expect.
As more men reach the tops of these problems, it's really going to come down to the attempts and flashes. We're seeing a very different scene here for the men's finals than we did in the semifinals. So many tops, it's exciting to watch. It's going to come down to the subtleties though.
See if Megan can recreate that creative sequence from last time. Yeah.
That's so early for Megan Martin. New high point on women's number 3. Questing onto the head wall now. Flan stacks for days on this problem.
Amen.
People, don't you dare stop now.
Megan Martin clutching
behind her
and fighting.
That was great.
Getting a very solid high point on women's 3.
Muhammad's not finding this powerful problem as easily as the other 3 men.
And last year, Muhammad Jafari really excelled on the technical problems in finals. Talking to some of the people that have been training with him, he has been trying to focus on the more gymnastic style of problems. Coming into nationals this year, he's gotten a lot stronger.
Claire Burfine now scoping women's 3. She did top the first 2 problems, so she has a very good shot of making the podium this evening.
And Claire is off on the left.
Claire could all but assure a spot on the podium here with the finish of women's number 3 and really put the pressure on Megan Mascarenas, sitting in the back, listening right now.
Ooh.
Wow.
It looks like she might go for the match.
An excellent first effort by Claire Burfine. Muhammad Jafari still baffled by the opening sequence, just like Carlo Traversi was.
3 minutes on the clock for Claire Burfine.
And Muhammad did not finish the first problem, so if he wants to get into the mix for the podium here, he's going to want to finish his 3rd problem. He wants to defend his title from last year. Such a powerful move, though. It's crazy how effortless Daniel, Jimmy, and Ty made that section look.
That's exactly right. He is looking defeated. We just have to hope that Muhammad is not taking this too much in his head, and hopefully it will not affect his performance on this problem or on number 4. Worth a reminder that Muhammad Jafari is not a U.S. citizen, so even if he wins the comp like he did last year, he will not be considered the champion or whatever. His ranking
champion.
will not count.
Cannot be national
Claire.
champion.
Pulling off the match. That was impressive.
Claire Burfine looking for a 3rd top out of 3.
See if she can pull it off.
She is trying and struggling.
Women's 3, not quite able to reel it in, but a great performance from Claire Burfine. Looks like she should have a little bit more time if she wants to give another try. Last attempt for Muhammad Jafari on men's 3.
Yes.
Oh, looks like he stuck the move. He needs to finish this problem. Make his way out of the podium. Not going to happen for Muhammad
That
Jafari
problem
on
is
men's
just
3.
unrelenting.
And Muhammad just ran out of time. That was his last effort.
We got 1 minute left on the 1 minute left on the left for Claire Burfine. People, it is
Muhammad Jafari walking off. He is likely out of the running for the winning here. He did not top number 1 or number 3 now.
back on the wall. On the right, getting started. I like her.
A quick slap down on Kai Leitner's first attempt. Looks like he might have to reevaluate that one.
Claire on the wall to the left. People, let's get her to the top this time.
Claire getting back into that kind of gross-looking match.
That does look like a gross move, the way she's doing that.
It works for her, though.
Claire is out of time now, so this will absolutely be her last try. Can she make it to the top? And if so, that will all but guarantee that she will be on the podium.
Yeah, that'll give her 3 tops with just 1 problem to go. Claire muscling her way up the top of women's number 3.
In an explosion of chalk off that wall, Claire Burfine doing her best, seemingly happy with her effort. I mean,
yeah, I think she's out there having a great time. It looks like she's having fun. She's smiling after every problem. She's climbing well.
Kai Leitner having some trouble with these opening moves, just like Carlo did. Just amazing how easily Woods and Webb and Landman made these first moves. Kai Leitner, one of our strongest competitors in this competition so far, really having trouble here.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me, actually, how much different they all look, or the 2 groups.
This is one of those sequences that I think you benefit from being a shorter climber. As a taller climber, when your legs swing out, you got a lot more legs swinging out there. It's a lot harder to control that swing.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Kai Leitner also has enormous hands. You'd think they might help on these pinches. Michaela Kirsch there, trying her hand at women's number 3.
See what she tries to figure out here.
Doesn't look like she left enough room for her hands to match on there like Claire Burfine did.
Yep, she needs to
So
give
she's
room so she
readjusting.
can piano her fingers.
There it is.
Yep,
See her just crunching her fingers across there.
nice.
That is such a difficult move.
A little more control next time.
This men's field is starting to get log jammed. Ty, Jimmy, Daniel, Carlo, all neck and neck as we close out this 3rd men's problem. Our leader, Nathaniel Coleman, still to come, though.
Kai with 20 seconds left. He's trying all sorts of different sequences. He's even facing out to the crowd. He wants this. Will this be successful? 10 seconds to go for Kai Leitner. He'd better try something.
Not going to happen for Kai Leitner. And as Michaela Kirsch evaluates women's number 3, we're going to have Nathaniel Coleman coming out for the men. If he were to finish this problem, he could put himself in a really dominant position going into the last problem.
He sure would, because all of the men rather, have finished 2 problems exactly. Nathaniel's the only one to come. He would have 3.
And then if he doesn't finish it, it opens the door.
That's absolutely right, Emily.
Such a pivotal moment for him. This is where the pressure really gets ratcheted up.
Michaela fighting tooth and nail for that match and just not making it happen. There's an undercling above that left hand that she's trying to match, but it doesn't look like any of the competitors find that a workable sequence. Michaela Kirsch with 1 minute to go for her problem. Nathaniel perhaps smartly brushing the holds. Those look like such bad holds. Any advantage of texture is going to help.
Let's be honest for just 1 second. You can be really good at climbing or really good looking. You cannot be both. It's not fair.
Daniel Coleman struggling a little bit here, but still plenty of opportunity for him to get to the top of this problem.
Michaela did the cross.
And it looks like Michaela Kirsch
She's chalking up.
is doing well here. She just got past her high point.
See if she can push out enough to make that. Oh.
Get back up on that wall, Michaela. Come on. The timer is down to 0.
This is Michaela's last try. Might as well ham it up for the crowd, getting on the starting hold. She is now out of time.
She's going to try to milk some sort of rest out of that position.
That's right. She had to get on the wall before that timer timed out, and now she can take as long as she wants. And she is indeed milking that starting hold.
Nathaniel's struggling.
A little bit surprising.
Yeah. It's like they either flashed it or they could barely get off the ground.
That's exactly what's happened so far. Flashed so far by Jimmy Webb, Daniel Woods, and Ty Landman. Nathaniel Coleman opening the door right now.
This really is a pivotal moment for Nathaniel Coleman, and whether he knows it or not, if he does not get to the top of this problem, suddenly the entire field, except for Muhammad, are going to be equal in terms of tops. And that, again, is the most important part of this scoring system. Meanwhile, Michaela Kirsch on the starting hold for seemingly minutes, chilling out.
Here she goes.
And now here she goes to attack the problem. Nathaniel Coleman with just 1 minute to go. If he does not figure out this problem, it's anybody's game on the podium.
Daniel really struggling.
Come on, Michaela.
You can see that his attempts are getting worse, actually, not better. He's starting to try some desperate measures there.
That's right.
He's trying every which way possible. Daniel Coleman out of sequence, trying to figure something out, but
People, it's 10 seconds remaining for Nathaniel Coleman. This is it.
this is Nathaniel Coleman's last attempt. And that's
Just
it. The door is wide open for the men's field.
Just
Daniel
not
Coleman
happening.
not able to finish men's number 3. That makes things very interesting for the men.
It sure does. All of them except for Muhammad Jafari have had 2 tops exactly.
And speaking of interesting, Alex Puccio had a very interesting experience on her second problem. She came close to finishing it, but on her last attempt, she fell awkwardly on the mat, was holding her side, had to be assisted to the back. We're not sure if she would be able to continue, but here she is back out on women's number 3. Looks like she's going to be able to continue, which is great to see, but she's got some ground to make up now with only 1 top through 2 problems, trailing Megan Mascarenas and Claire Burfine.
As she was sitting on the mat, holding her apparently injured hip, Megan Mascarenas walked right by her and flashed the problem that she hurt herself on. She knows she has to step it up to defend her title. She wants number 10 badge. She wants it even more because of that knee injury that put her out for competitions for so long. Alex Puccio, one of the strongest women to ever compete.
Come on, Alex, figure it out.
Alex
Oh my.
Puccio doing Alex Puccio things on women's number 3. That was so strong.
Incredible.
That was amazing and really smart. She kept her feet on.
Alex Puccio coming out and getting right back in this competition.
That was amazing.
Come on,
Alex
Alex.
Puccio fighting for every single move. Nobody has
Chalking
yet
up.
topped this problem.
Alex Puccio will not be
Throwing
defeated
in the knee
easily.
bar.
And for
Get in
her
the
10th
knee
national
bar.
championship, she is right back in it. with an impressive flash at women's number 3.
Knee barring off of her knee brace as if to give the middle finger to her injuries.
What an incredible moment for Alex Puccio. Wow.
That was,
that was amazing.
An awesome performance.
I'm so psyched she just did that.
Wow.
Crowd is agape. Amazement after seeing that. Right back in the mix is Alex Puccio. Megan Mascarenas heard all of that standing on the side of the wall over there.
Co-host Brian here was so excited he had to jump out of his chair at that and applaud. Wow, Brian, I can feel some of the sweat dripping off your head onto our table. That was so awesome.
That's what we come here for, Chris. For these kinds of
Wow.
championship moments.
What a match.
Megan Mascarenas still has her moment at women's number 3. She can swing the momentum right back in her favor by flashing this problem.
Megan does have one more top than Alex does, so this problem is huge. If Megan can do this problem, she will be solidly in the lead.
Yeah, I think Alex had the right beta. I think that's what was meant to happen.
Oh
Oh gosh.
my
Wow.
gosh. Megan
is so
Mascarenas
Crushing it.
making the move that every woman had either eyed or tried and failed. Megan Mascarenas making it look easy. Will she be the next Bouldering Nationals champion?
Megan Mascarenas, the protege of Alex Puccio, coming for that national championship. Megan Mascarenas making it look so easy at women's number 3. An incredible moment for her. Answering right back. Alex Puccio coming out with the flash. Megan Mascarenas answering right back with the flash of her own on women's number 3.
Like a silent volley between the two. They are so close. Oh my gosh, what an amazing response. Megan Mascarenas could easily be our next champion.
And that just really highlights the missed opportunity for Alex Puccio on problem number 2. She was so close to finishing it before falling just at the top, opening the door for Megan Mascarenas, who is well out in front at this point with tops on all 3 problems. We're going to take a quick break to catch our breath. We'll be back with some updated scores. The final problem coming up. We're going to crown a national champion. Don't go anywhere.
Fish are jumping and the cotton is high.
Welcome back to the 2016 USA Climbing Bouldering National Championships. We are set for a thrilling finish here through 3 problems. Megan Mascarenas out in front, leading Alex Puccio and Claire Burfine. Still a slight opportunity for them to catch her, though, as we look at the men's standings through 3 problems. Nathaniel Coleman, Carlo Traversi, Jimmy Webb, Daniel Woods, Kai Leitner, Ty Lehman, all with 2 tops. The door wide open for the men. Nathaniel Coleman missing that opportunity on problem number 3 to really close things out.
The match couldn't be closer for the men.
Do you know that Megan Mascarenas is guaranteed to be on the podium at this point?
Well, we are about to get started.
That was an incredible round for both the men and the women. So much changing for the men.
And first up out of the gates, gonna show us how it's done, Jimmy Webb and Sierra Blair.
The door is absolutely open for these men. The only one who did not top 2 of the 3 problems so far is Muhammad Jafari. Everyone else, all 6 other competitors, have completed only 2, exactly 2 out of 3. This 4th problem is going to decide everything for these guys. Who wants it badly?
And Jimmy Webb up off the ground to the right.
Sierra Blair Coyle starting women's number 4, the debut effort here for her. Jimmy Webb. Men's number 4. This is the final problem of Bouldering Nationals.
And our defending national champion, Daniel Wood's going to need to finish this problem and get some help in the form of Jimmy Webb not doing this problem. So see what Jimmy has to say about that. Jimmy Webb just wrestling up those massive volumes.
Jimmy feeling the texture on these.
Jimmy Webb finishing with 3 flashes for the men.
Wow.
He's incredible performance.
An amazing effort by Jimmy Webb.
Bonus 1-arm lock off there by Jimmy Webb.
He is happy with that. He comes down smiling. Flashed another one of the men's finals. He is going to be so hard to catch, Brian.
And that just highlights what we knew in the first problem, the missed opportunity for him. He struggled mightily on the first problem, and that could come back to haunt him here, even though he has finished the last 3.
Every single attempt these climbers have put in tonight are going to count. We are going to have ties in tops. Sierra Blair Coyle,
sticking the dyno.
the full body dyno on women's problem 4.
Next up for the guys, Carlo Traversi.
Doing an excellent job of figuring out the roof section here. Sierra Blair Coyle making great progress on the final problem here. This would be her first top. She has not gotten to the top of anything yet here in the finals round. Just looking good there on women's number 4, taking a shake in an absolutely horizontal position.
Carlo started strong with tops on the first 2 problems, faltered slightly on problem number 3. See if he can get back into form here. Needs to finish this problem. He wants to try and catch up with Jimmy Webb.
A great effort by Sierra. She fell off a move later, but really tried hard and put in a great effort. She'll undoubtedly try that again. Carla Traversi missing the screw-on hold and therefore missing the flash.
And that will hurt him.
That will absolutely hurt him.
Yeah, that's a big missed opportunity for Carlo Traversi. That's going to hurt him in the standings. All the male competitors at this point can surmise that Jimmy Webb did flash men's number 4, so they know the pressure is on. Such a small margin for error here on the Bouldering National stage.
And such a unique problem with every hold being an enormous blue volume. Really difficult to tell from the ground how to deal with those holds. Carlo making the same mistake.
Come on, Sierra.
Could be opening the door on the podium for some of the other competitors. He's not able to get higher on that problem. Sierra trying to close things out strong here. She has climbed really well all weekend. Great to see her making finals at Bouldering Nationals once again this year.
Happy birthday, SBC. She put in a great effort here at Bouldering Nationals.
We are down to 1 minute remaining for Carlo Traversi.
Carlo Traversi with just 60 seconds to go. He's got to do this problem if he wants a high ranking here.
It's got to be hard to see that screw on from his low, but he hit it that time.
And he made it that time. The hold he bumbled a couple times. This time he was hyper accurate. Worth noting, this is the only problem on this entire wall with an actual finishing jug. Every other hold is some miserable sloper.
Controversy gunning for that finish hold.
And he
Sticks it with authority.
Double dyno.
the full body jump to the finish. He is so psyched.
That was
3 out of 4 tops for Carlo Traversi.
Huge top for Carlo Traversi. We will have to see where that puts him on the podium. It did take him a few more attempts than Jimmy Webb.
Our defending champion Daniel Woods stepping up, and there's Megan Martin. It would not shock me at all if Megan Martin could do really well on this problem. She tends to be a powerful, burly climber. She can get the job done on the steeps.
And Daniel really kind of needs a flash.
Yeah, he needs a flash if he wants any hope of retaining his crown.
And his crown isn't just any crown, it's the 9-time champion. How badly does Daniel want this? What a great show for the crowd there. Excellent route setting. On women's problem 4, Megan Martin sticking the dyno. Daniel Woods measured, really trying to be smart about every movement here. Undoubtedly trying to rip the holds off the wall so he does not accidentally slip. He is crushing this.
He's just roping around for that screw on as Megan Martin getting way high in women's number 4.
Megan Martin, the high point so far on women's 4. She's looking strong. D Woods, meanwhile, still inching, struggling.
He's not
but
really
inching.
holding on to anything. He's just kind of compressing that volume.
Half the crowd with their phones out trying to capture the moment here.
That was big. Daniel Woods just fell off. He did not flash the 4th problem. That tells me that he probably will not have kept his championship. I cannot say that for sure, but that really did not help.
I think you're right, Chris. We will see as the round unfolds. Need to wait till all the climbers finish the problem.
We could be looking at the face of the ex-champion, Daniel Woods. Time will tell.
Just time for one more attempt for Daniel Woods.
Both climbers in front of you call Boulder, Colorado their home. Daniel Woods with just over 1 minute left. If he climbs anything like he did on his first attempt, he will be out of time after a few holds. This is probably Daniel Woods' last try to even have a chance. The best Daniel can do is 2nd place now. We will have a new champion.
See if Daniel can finish in style, though. He's been a great champion through all these years. Knows how to close a show in style. He would love nothing more than to finish his last problem.
He wants that podium finish.
Yes.
Daniel Woods wrapping his fingers on the jug and controlling it.
There he goes.
For 3 out of 4 tops for Daniel Woods.
Great performances from Daniel Woods and Megan Martin all weekend.
Megan Martin getting very high on problem 4, but not finishing it. She has completed 1 of the 4 problems already. Claire Burfine, Alex Puccio, and Megan Mascarenas are ahead of her. Megan Martin will not be on the podium, but a great show from her.
So we get our next competitors out on the mat, Claire Burfine and Ty Landman. Claire trying to secure her spot on the podium. She has 2 tops so far through 3 problems.
The one-arm catch, and Claire sticks it first try.
People, you cannot stop now.
Claire Burfine and Alex Puccio both have 2 tops. Megan with 3. Claire will want this badly in order to find her place on the podium. So far, she is climbing very well in this round. Ty Landman still taking his time. He's taking by far the most amount of time in the qualies and the semifinals to look things over. And that has served him very well.
And with 4 climbers still to come for the men, Jimmy Webb in first place, but a lot can change here. Ty Landman and Nathaniel Coleman, Kai Leitner for that matter, all still in the mix.
These blue volumes that Ty is holding on to now, they do not all have the same amount of texture. A few of them are like Velcro, and most of them are very, very glossy. You can see it reflecting. All volumes are not created equal, and it's up to these climbers to figure out how to deal with either. Ty Landman fighting his way up.
He's pressing on, you saw that, just pressing on the glassy slopers there. Not able to maintain the friction you need. Claire also struggling with gravity there on women's number 4.
Just amazing seeing her laugh, her big smile when she comes down. She is not pissed. She is
always
psyched.
Smiling. She's super psyched. She loves it out there. She's having a great time.
1 minute 30 seconds for Claire Burfine.
Big thing to keep in mind with this format is that each problem is individual competition. So with Jimmy coming out and flashing men's number 4, if nobody else matches him, that gives him a really great score on that problem. Could propel him to the championship.
This is their final climb of the evening, and they want to know that the crowd is behind them.
Claire Burfine with less than a minute to go. This will almost certainly be her last effort. Ty Landman with 90 seconds. It's amazing that even with 5 minutes, these competitors get so few tries on these problems. They are exhausting. They are really confusing, and it takes them a while to make their way up. And this is Ty's 2nd attempt, and that's all he's going to get.
Trying a slightly different sequence this time. That seemed a lot easier than what he was trying before.
That's for sure.
Friction goes a long way in climbing, that's for sure.
20 seconds left for Claire Burfine. She is on.
Looks like Ty's going to be able to figure this out. But that was a big development that he did not do it on his first attempt. Jimmy Webb still the only man to finish problem number 4 on his first attempt. See if Ty can figure out this last move.
Such a confusing problem for the men there. They have all tried to reach that jug a different way. And there's Ty.
Ty Landman. Getting psyched for the crowd.
Ty Landman with 3 out of 4 tops. This is such a close contest. It is hard to overstate how close this is. The first 4 men have all topped exactly 3 problems out of 4. This is incredible.
And Nathaniel Coleman really left the door open by not finishing problem number 3. He was in such control after the first 2 problems. But after Jimmy Webb, Carla Traversi, Dania Woods, and Ty Lamon all came out, finished problem number 3. Excuse me, Carla did not finish it, but that really opened the door for those competitors to knock Nathaniel out of the top spot.
Michaela Kirsch brushing the holds on her final problem. She did top number 2, putting her ahead of Sierra Blair Coyle already. If she can top this one out, she will have a chance. That's Mohammed Jafari wrestling with the blue volumes on the final problem for the men. Is he crimping the side of that volume?
Yeah, he was.
Give this guy a razor blade and he'll treat it like a jug. He has some of the strongest fingers I've seen.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good analogy. See if he can wrestle the rest of the volumes, though.
Oh. So Mohammed not able to keep pace with Jimmy Webb on problem number 4. So Jimmy still with the best score on problem number 4, doing it on his first attempt. First guy out on it, just motored right to the top.
That's right.
Yeah.
Excellent effort.
Showing her jumping skills.
Michaela Kirsch continuing to surprise us with her efforts. She is just looking relaxed and comfortable and just going for it.
And it's been that way throughout the whole competition. She's been very consistent.
Look at her, mid-problem, eyeing the audience and asking for support. Michaela Kirsch, ladies and gentlemen, she is definitely the most involved with the crowd that is now cheering wildly for her.
Just feel the energy in the crowd right now.
Mohammed with just 75 seconds to go. Will he be able to top out a second problem?
Stuck that with authority.
Michaela Kirsch.
This place would go nuts if Michaela could get to the top of this problem.
Really fighting her way.
A few moves away. Michaela Kirsch trying to go out with style here on women's number 4.
She is earning her spot here in front of the crowd tonight. Michaela
Great
Kirsch.
effort from Michaela Kirsch.
30 seconds for Mohammed. 30 seconds.
Mohammed Jafari looking kind of bummed. He is not at all happy with his performance. He has less than 30 seconds. His next attempt will be his last attempt.
Is ticking away. They are waiting for your voice. 10 seconds for Mohammed. This will be, they are on the wall. Come on, people.
Michaela Kirsch with 15 seconds to go, just putting in a Hail Mary effort. You know she wants to rest more, but she doesn't have time for that. This is her final effort in this year's Bouldering Nationals.
And that's going to do it for Mohammed Jafari, our winner from last year. Made it back to finals, climbed really well. Just not his night tonight in finals, but great climbing from him all weekend.
Michaela Kirsch adopting the same strategy that she did on the third problem. She gets on the wall so she can buy herself as much time as she needs to finish and just pauses on the starting holds to rest.
That's going to do it for Michaela Kirsch. Great climbing from her all weekend. Back in finals. She's got a bright future ahead of her.
Kai Leitner, the only watch-wearing competitor. I asked him about his watch earlier, and he told me that he likes to wear it when he's sport climbing so he can time his rests and make sure he's resting long enough. It obviously does not come into play in the bouldering competition. Why doesn't he take it off? He says he's too lazy.
Teenagers, man.
Must be a millennials thing.
That's a big fall for Kai Leitner. Jimmy Webb's still the only man to flash men's number 4, climb it on his first attempt without falling. The picture for the men starting to come into focus here.
A no doubt nervous Alex Puccio brushing her holds. The best she can do if she tops this out is to equal Megan's top so far. Alex knows this. Alex wants her 10th win, but it's looking like it's going to be tough. Alex will absolutely have to top out this problem in order to have a chance to defend her crown.
It's been an interesting final for Alex Puccio, to say the least.
This is where she tends to shine, though. I remember multiple years in a row, Alex just busting it out on the last problem.
Yeah, these final rounds, such an ebb and flow. Different emotions as you move through each problem. Alex has always found a way to pull it out at the end. See if she can do that here in Madison, Wisconsin. The crowd would love nothing more than to see this.
That is what has made Alex the 9-time champion here. Can she do this problem?
Kai Leitner holding it in.
Just barely holding on.
Not able to reel it in. He's exasperated. Alex moving comfortably.
Yes.
Alex Puccio making it happen to the upper part of this problem.
See if she can beast her way.
If Alex is going to be dethroned, she will absolutely not go quietly. She's fighting with every ounce of energy she has for this, her last problem at Bouldering Nationals. She needs this top. She absolutely needs it.
She knows that she needs it. She is not going to go.
She's trying to figure out what to do here. Just 2 moves between her and the finish of women's number 4.
Oh, my goodness.
Alex Puccio hitting the eject button.
Asking for the time immediately. She needs to know how long she can rest before her attempt. That was a blow to her standings. If she does not make it up here again, she will not be the champion. Kai Leitner struggling a little more than we might expect.
Kai Leitner came out strong during finals, finished the first 2 problems, faltered on the last 2. And I suspect we'll see him many years to come here on the adult bouldering circuit. Great job, Kai Leitner. Alex Puccio does not finish this problem. That secures the victory for Megan Mascarenas. We will have a new champion for both the men and the women for the first time in
a lot of years.
Decade?
Yeah. This is Alex Puccio on her last chance to even
she knows
things out with Megan.
She knows she needs to finish this problem. She's been paying attention.
The determination in Alex Puccio is here. Her anger is coming out. She had that dispute about her high point in semifinals. She's now relaxed enough to look to the crowd for support. She wants to finish this, and she needs to.
And an important moment happening for Nathaniel Coleman at the same exact time. Action is fast and furious here at Bouldering Nationals 2016.
She really needs to bear down.
Alex Puccio trying to relax, trying to decide on a sequence where no other woman has gone before on this problem.
Alex Puccio not going to be able to do it. We will have a new champion for the women. Megan Mascarenas, going to be the 2016 USA Climbing Bouldering National Champion. Incredible run for Alex Puccio.
That was insane. The most pivotal moment we've seen in a long, long time here at Bouldering Nationals. Alex not quite able to top out a third problem, putting Megan Mascarenas right in the front. In fact, Megan can skip out on problem 4. She has already won.
This is a huge moment for Nathaniel Coleman. This could be his championship moment. Nathaniel Coleman flashing men's number 4.
Head raised back in victory. The blonde beauty Nathaniel Coleman doing what he is now known to do best.
People, this is it. 4 minutes left in your USAC Bouldering National.
And this is a fun moment for Megan Mascarenas.
Megan Mascarenas, 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
It is crazy how pivotal every single performance has been in these last couple problems.
It's been a long time coming for her. Coming out, winning her first adult Bouldering National Championship. Well-deserving moment for Megan Mascarenas here.
She does not know it yet, but she will be the champion. The only woman to have completed 3 problems.
And we're getting unofficial word that as well. Nathaniel Coleman will be the national champion for 2016 on the strength of that flash of men's number 4, giving him the title over Jimmy Webb and Carlo Traversi. So we're dueling new national champions in 2016.
What a crazy contest this has turned out to be. 2 big turnovers in the reign here of Bouldering Nationals champions.
2 teenagers, right?
That's right, Nathaniel Coleman at only 19 years old and Megan Mascarenas at 18 years old, dethroning the 20-plus champions. Now Megan Mascarenas can climb for fun.
Seems like she's always climbing for fun though, Chris. Where she climbs. It's hard not to have fun when you don't fall that much.
That's right.
It'd be a pretty amazing ending if she could pull this off.
She just never seems to look stressed. She is contorted, she is trying, she is squeezing, but she looks relaxed in the face as if she's just looking at a mathematics problem. Megan Mascarenas taking her time.
Really the moment of the comp for Megan Mascarenas was on women's number 3. Alex Puccio came out and flashed the palm, and Megan Mascarenas came out right after and did the exact same thing.
I do not know even how to explain what she's doing with her limbs right now, but it's working.
Oh.
And she's off with a
Almost
smile.
worked.
Almost worked. She has just over 1 minute to rest. That's all she gets before she must get back on the wall if she wants to finish it. But again, this is her victory lap. She has already won.
1 minute remaining. People, 1 more minute of your lives. That's all I need.
Something we've been talking about all weekend, Chris. The youth contingent always nipping at the heels of Alex Puccio and Daniel Woods. We knew at some point something would have to give, and it looks like this is here.
This is, in fact, the year, Brian. The double dethrone of our long-time champions. I'm going to say it is not a surprise that we'll be crowning Megan Mascarenas and Nathaniel Coleman as the winners. She's using the same strategy Michaela Kirsch did. She had to get on the wall, but she needed more time to rest. So why not rest on the starting holds?
Oh.
Ah.
Yeah.
A mad rush for her last attempt. She realized she did have a few more seconds. The crowd just going nuts. For the new champion, Megan Mascarenas.
A well-deserved moment for Megan here.
Don't you dare stop now. Come on. This is what it's all
She can take her time and bask in this glory.
Your new 2016 Bouldering National Champion, Megan Mascarenas.
Give it up for all of our competitors. Give it up for the root setters crew. Give it up for Albert and 11. Give it up for USAC. Give it up
All right, do not go anywhere. We're going to be right back with some interviews with our winners and the official results. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the 2016 USA Climbing Bouldering National Championships. Just reached a thrilling conclusion, crowning brand new national champions for both the men and the women, first-time champions. Nathaniel Coleman for the men and Megan Mascarenas for the women. We'll be talking to both of them in just a few minutes. Rounding out the podium for the men, Jimmy Webb, Carla Traversi in third place. 9-time national champion Daniel Woods just outside the podium in fourth. For the women, Alex Puccio not able to get it done tonight. Great champion though throughout all these years, and Claire Burfine in third place for the women. Excellent podium.
Head on over and collect your prize.
All right, Brian Reynolds and Chris Widener in the booth here, joined by Nathaniel Coleman. Nathaniel, congratulations.
Thank you.
That was huge, Nathaniel. You are the new champion. How does it feel?
I can't believe it. After I was done climbing, I was sure that I hadn't won. I wasn't even sure if I was on the podium because just the scoring system, it really leaves it as a question, you know. But it feels incredible. My friends ran up and they were all cheering me on, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" They showed me the live scoring. It was incredible.
That is awesome. Daniel Woods was the 9-time champion, and now you stripped the 10th from him.
Yeah.
That was an amazing performance.
Thanks, man.
Nathaniel, you made finals last year, and then you had an incredible year after that, taking 2 silvers in the World Cup, and then the last couple of comps leading up to this, you took first place over Daniel Woods. What kind of confidence did that give you coming into nationals here?
It definitely made me realize that it was possible to beat Daniel, but still, it's a completely different setting than the competitions me and Daniel have met up in previously. So I had no expectations of whether I was going to win or not.
What an amazing performance. Just 19 years old. You have a lot of years ahead of you. This is awesome. I'm just so psyched that you did this. Which one gave you the most trouble here tonight? Which problem?
I mean, you saw me getting shut down on 3. I just didn't have the pinch power that those other guys had.
And you did you have a sense from sitting in the back that the other guys had been able to do that problem?
Yeah, I had. And reading it, we all thought, man, that thing can't be that hard. Just because you see a hold and you assume that you're going to be able to hold on to it.
Maybe you do.
So,
what kind of mindset did that put you in going into the last problem after you struggled on the third problem?
Well, I was in the mindset that there was no way I'd won, but I knew that I could do the problem if I stayed in the zone.
Yeah, it didn't seem to really ruffle your feathers one bit going into problem 4. You just exploded on that and
Thanks.
Crushed it.
Thank you. You know, I was trying not to focus on previous problems, and that's something that's been really difficult for me, and I feel like I've developed that over this past season.
All right, Nathaniel Coleman, you were a favorite coming in on many people's lineups leading up to the competition. You had an uneven qualifying round. You came through semifinals, first place, finals in first place. Got to be a good feeling. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, Nathaniel Coleman, our 2016 Bouldering National Champion.
All
We're gonna
right.
let you celebrate.
Cool.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
guys.
much,
Thanks,
Nathaniel, for joining
Coleman.
us.
Going to check in with our women's winner here in just a minute. We also have a new champion for the women, Megan Mascarenas. While we get her over here, take a quick moment to plug some upcoming action here on the LT11 Networks of Climbing broadcast. Going to be out in Boston, Massachusetts in just a few weeks here, Chris. March 19th for the U.S. Sport and Speed Climbing Open National Championships.
This is going to be a fun one to commentate. We'll both be there.
We'll have semifinals in the morning, followed by finals in the evening. This should be a great show. Defending champions Delaney Miller and Kai Leitner. Always a great event out there for Rope Nationals, so don't miss that. Time TBD.
We're trying to round up Megan Mascarenas to bring her in here to the commentator booth, our new female national champion.
So Chris, leading up to the competition this week, we did a lot of discussion around who we thought would win, who we thought would do well. Obviously, Daniel Woods and Alex Puccio always favorites to win based on their 9-time past history of winning the event.
That's right.
But we also talked a lot about the young up-and-comers, Megan Mascarenas and Nathaniel Coleman at the top of the list, and
here they are at the top of the podium as well. Yeah, we did see a few little surprises like Michaela Kirsch competing very well this year, and Mohamed Jafari not doing nearly as well. He did, in fact, win the competition last year. This time he came out, I believe, in last place for the men. But a lot of familiar names in the top for the men. Jimmy Webb and Carlo Traversi. You saw these guys climbing super well, flashing some of the problems.
Yeah,
and Daniel Woods just didn't quite have it.
It's a great result for Jimmy Webb. He's struggled at this comp in the past, so I think he'd be pretty happy to finish second. Carlo Traversi, I know he hasn't had the preparation that he normally would, so to come out here and finish third after barely making it in the semifinals is a really great result for him. And Daniel Woods couldn't win every year, so looking forward to seeing him back out here, though, in the future. As we are joined momentarily here by our women's champion, Megan Mascarenas, just getting her set up here. All the accoutrements that go with the broadcast booth. Megan, put that microphone up to your mouth, if you would, please. Thank you.
All right, Megan, thank you so much for joining us. We just watched you moments ago take the championship from Alex Puccio. How do you feel?
I am beyond psyched right now.
That is awesome. What did it take for you to keep the mental energy flowing?
I don't know, back in ISO, it was nice to like recap your emotions, and this World Cup format gives you a lot of time to get back on track and get psyched for the next climb.
And are you surprised by how well you did tonight, or was this something that you were really hoping for and looking to?
This year I feel like I've made a big jump in my climbing, so I thought I could do pretty well.
This well?
I hoped.
Of course you did.
All right, Megan, obviously Alex is a coach of yours. You've watched her compete in this event for many years. What does it mean to you to finally be the one to unseat her as national champion?
I've been looking forward to this day for a really long time. I respect her as a climber. She is so consistent, and but I worked really hard too. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a well-deserved win. We've been looking forward to this moment for a couple years now. You've been out here at Nationals the last couple years doing really well, so to have you to break through, it's really a special moment, well-deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, huge congratulations to you, Megan. So fun to watch the young guard finally take over the reigning champions. So, yeah, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, congratulations, Megan. Megan Mascarenas, our 2016 Bouldering National Champion for the women. I want to thank her and Nathaniel Coleman for stopping by the booth.
What an amazing show. This contest was nail-biting up until the final problem.
Yeah, that was really a thrilling final round. Basically anything could happen for the men there on the last problem, whereas on the women, Megan Mascarenas sealed the deal on problem number 3.
And for the men, all the men except for 2 finished 3 problems. It was such a tight race the entire time. We never really knew who was winning until the very end. That was just an awesome show. The most exciting Bouldering Nationals I've ever seen.
Just going to hang tight here while we get ready for the official podium ceremony. There is a 10-minute appeals period. That always happens at these comps. That's a standard procedure just to give the competitors a chance to validate the results. We are standing by for any updates on that. We'll get you those as soon as we hear anything. Another thing that was interesting with this final round, Chris, was what happened with Alex Puccio. She came out in the first problem, did pretty well. The second problem, though, was where things kind of went off the rails for her. She struggled to do the problem, and then on her last attempt, she fell and seemed to injure her hip a little bit. That was really sort of the pivotal moment in this championship.
Indeed it was. 4 of the 6 women topped out that second problem, but Alex Puccio was not one of them. That was shocking to see. And then, of course, like you mentioned, that injury that sidelined her from attempting it again really was kind of baffling. We're just happy to see Alex get back in the comp because there was doubt whether she was even going to make it back into the competition.
And not only did she get back into the competition, she came out and flashed one of the hardest problems in the entire comp. I'm kind of stunned just thinking about it. But what was really stunning was how Megan Mascarenas responded as a champion would. Came right out and matched Alex Puccio move for move.
That is right. It was as if it was a chess match that only we could see both sides of the playing board. It was an amazing show from both women and the men. It was all up in the air until the end. Crowd here in Madison, Wisconsin, milling around and just glowing from what they have just seen, eagerly anticipating the podium and the awards ceremony.
Yeah, it's a great time actually to say a few words about the Madison climbing community here. Monona Terrace has been a great venue for nationals the last 2 years. The climbing community has really supported it. It takes a ton of volunteers to put this event on. Without them, it would not be possible. The judges, people working the doors, camera operators, people just helping every facet of this event, making it the success that it is. Want to thank them. Can't thank them enough, really, for all their support. I know the community has really looked forward to this event the last 2 years. It's a really exciting opportunity for them to see the best climbers in the country competing at this level.
This sure has been a great time. There's Kai Leitner on your screen, putting in an amazing performance for such a young athlete. I'll remind you that he is also our current sport climbing champion, someone with his skill set to make it into finals for the bouldering as well as reigning as the champion sport climber is rare, especially for someone who's only 16 years old, our youngest competitor in the entire finals round.
We saw they're a pretty popular thing at this competition, people getting their pictures taken with their favorite climbers. We saw it yesterday with Daniel Woods, saw it with Emily Harrington, who joined us in the booth, saw it with Kai Leitner there. People are like legitimate celebrities in the climbing community. It's really cool for them to come out here, mingle with the common folk.
That's right. In fact, I'm pretty sure after this, Brian, you're going to be asked to have photographs with many of your fans.
Not so sure about that, Chris.
I think to most of the audience here, we are just the weird guys in the lights in the corner. There they are. We got some fans cheering for us. I think they just have pity on us, really, but we'll take it.
Love the climbing community here, that's for sure.
You are a Wisconsinite, Brian.
That's right. I've been a part of the community here for about 16 years. Some of my favorite people. And that's really the beautiful thing about climbing. I mean, I think everyone has that experience getting involved in the sport, the community, wherever you live. Such a vital aspect of the sport. It's not just about going out there and climbing up rock faces.
It sure is, Brian. One thing that's really fun for me living in Boulder, Colorado is that next week I'm going to be climbing in the gym next to Megan Martin and Michaela Kirsch and Alex Puccio and sometimes Megan Mascarenas. And then all the guys here too, Carlo, Daniel, often Ty Landman, Kai Leitner. These guys are going to be in the gym where I climb as well, and we're just going to be peers.
Name dropper, whoa.
Sort of. Hey, it's Boulder, Colorado. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
I mean, if you don't climb V10, you might as well not even go to the gym, so.
I think you actually aren't allowed in the gym.
Entrance exam, yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah. What do you have to do in Wisconsin to get into the gym?
I think you just have to sign that waiver when you're in.
Maybe down a cheese curd or something? I don't know.
Definitely looking forward to some of those after this is over.
Just got word that we are in the 10-minute window of appeals that's happening. We're going to have to sit tight here for a little bit.
Wouldn't be a Bouldering Nationals without a little bit of downtime after the competition ends as we get things sorted out. There's so many different things that happen, so many different moves. Climbers want to make sure that they got their scores correctly entered by the judges.
That's right. As I mentioned earlier during the comp, there was a dispute. Alex Puccio yesterday, or gosh, that was even today, wasn't it?
That was still today, yeah.
That was still today. It's been a long one. She disputed her control of a hold on a problem that was actually pretty crucial, and especially considering that Megan Mascarenas held a hold yesterday in a dubious way, according to Alex Puccio and some of the judges. Turns out none of that mattered because it was a solid win for Megan. But that's why we're doing the appeals process right now. We got 10 minutes. With us now, just brought in Carlo Traversi, always a strong finisher.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm pretty stoked, actually. Yeah.
You feel good about your performance?
Yeah, I do. I feel good. I had very, very low expectations for myself coming into this comp in particular, so I'm pretty stoked that it worked out.
Why the low expectations? You've been climbing strong.
I have been in Yosemite for the better part of the fall, climbing on trad climbs.
Oh, nice.
Almost entirely. And I haven't been bouldering on plastic at all, other than maybe the last 2 or 3 weeks. And it's been kind of sparse because I've been traveling and moving into a new house and stuff like that. So I'm just psyched that I got into finals even. So
yeah,
it's all good.
You qualify for semifinals in 20th place, so you just eked in, but you made a count this morning in semifinals, made it into finals. What was your mindset coming out of qualifiers yesterday? Do you think you had any chance for making finals?
No, not at all. Yeah, I came here because I want to compete in Vail, and I feel like I'll be better prepared for that event. So that was kind of what I wanted out of it, and I knew when I made semifinals that I was psyched because I had a good chance of being able to go to Vail, and I just wanted to improve my placement, and that worked out. And then finals was awesome.
Finals was awesome for you, Carlo. You sure did kill it. You got 2 tops right away, flashing one of the problems. And
yeah,
God, that was just amazing.
It was a
to
good
watch.
time. It seemed like people had a good time watching and stuff like that. That's all that really matters. It's a good show.
Great
Congrats
show.
to everyone else in finals. I know everyone put their heart into it, and that's all that matters.
What did you make of that first boulder? It was pretty tricky.
It's funny, I think I'm the only person that saw the toe hook move, and when I got to the back, I'm like, wow, that's a crazy first move with that toe hook catch, and everyone's like, what are you talking about, man? And I'm just like, oh shit, I think I just gave away some beta. And then I was
no.
Yeah, but it was cool. I mean, that's my style of climbing, the crazy coordination stuff, so I was pretty stoked when I came out and saw a bunch of slopers and some really tricky coordination stuff. So
yeah, it definitely seemed like you just dominated that. That was awesome
it was a good time,
to see.
so.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, good times here for sure, always.
Great. Thanks so much, Carlo, for joining us.
No worries. Thanks, you guys.
Carlo Traversi, our 3rd place finisher this year. Congratulations to him on an excellent finish to 2016 Bouldering Nationals.
And good luck in Yosemite.
Yeah, go get it, man.
I had a chance to boulder with Carlo last year. Of course, we weren't trying the same problems, but last year in Yosemite in the fall, that was fun.
He might have warmed up on your project.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, my project is not even a warm-up for Carlo Traversi. But that is what's fun, to extend what you were talking about earlier, about the climbing community in general. We see these people up on this stage. They are celebrities. People are taking their photos with them. But at the same time, we get to hang out with them in the gym. We see them at the cliff. We socialize with them. We have dinner with them after a day of climbing. It's just such a fun sport that way. I love this.
Indeed it is, Chris. Just communicating with some people in the crowd here. Not a lot of people heading for the exits. They want to see this podium ceremony. I think also the beer station is still open.
Heck yeah.
And we are still waiting for official results. We're going to be joined in the booth by our 2nd place finisher. It's not something we often say here at Bouldering Nationals. Joined by Alex Puccio.
Hi, can I hold this? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there I am.
Alex, thank you so much for joining us. You were our reigning 9-time champion, and you have just gotten your first second place finish. Yeah.
No, it's not my first. Okay,
well,
I want to
official.
correct this. No, it's not even official. I've lost, so I've done it. This is my 11th nationals, and 1 year I came third to Alex Johnson and Chaunsonia Cox, and then 1 year I came second to Eula. I don't really count coming second as still national champion. I know in your guys' mind you do, but in my heart and mind, I don't. So this is my third time losing. There you go.
That's one way to look at it, Alex. So how do you feel about that?
You know what? I would be upset if...
Yep.
Wait, where'd that question come from? That wasn't you guys.
How do you feel
about man in the sky?
That was really weird. You know, my injury, today I didn't, you really think about it. I thought about it before I went on the first climb because I knew there was a jump at which I found out the other girls didn't jump that last move. But yeah, and I thought about that in my head. I was like, you just got to put it out, and you've taken falls this whole time, and you're fine. And, you know, it just after that first fall up there, it was fine. And I just kind of didn't have it in my head anymore. I had one thing in my mind is to get to the top of these boulders. And that didn't really play very well on the slab climb. I got the worst butt cramp of my life.
Yeah, what happened over
That's
there?
what happened.
Okay, yeah, and on my right side, not even my good side. And I don't even know because it was my right side and my left foot was up, and all of a sudden, I think I was just trying too hard. I don't know. I was clenching everything, and I didn't like the whole.
You were clenching your butt a little too tight on that second problem. It was surprising to watch, I have to admit, because 4 other women topped that problem, and you didn't. And of course, we would expect Alex Puccio
I did
to
all
make
the
that
other
top.
slabs.
But none of
us
anticipated the butt cramp, Alex.
I know. I was actually kind of embarrassed. I'm like, oh, people are going to think that I hurt my knee again, so get off the pads as soon as I can. And literally it felt like someone just punched me so hard in the butt, I could not move. I could not walk. And I was like, this is embarrassing. People are going to be like, she hurt her knee, and I don't want people to think oh, she's whining about a butt cramp. But other than that, I think, I would, it's weird. I'm not super upset of losing because I see it as I climbed amazing on that last boulder, and I climbed amazing on all the other boulders, which I was really psyched on. And I mean, it's I got high point on one of them, and I just think that's really cool. And I mean, if you can't win, steal the show somehow, right?
Bam.
Yeah. I mean, it was an incredible moment after the injury where you came out on prop number 3 and flashed it after the other women had made it look really difficult.
I didn't think about that beta at all. The whole upside down heel thing, that was out of desperation, and it worked.
And that absolutely worked.
Yeah.
The crowd went wild when you did that bizarre sequence.
That's why I knew it was wrong.
But it just took you right to the top.
No,
that was such a good move.
Yeah.
Smart climbing, Alex.
Let's congratulate Megan Mascarenas, which is amazing. And, it's funny that, people try to put this whole thing in there, is the younger generation coming up, or is it, is Alex not going to do well? I see this as just, another World Cup, another competition. I've lost so many comps in my time. I've probably lost more than I've actually won. And it's one of those things that's just because someone loses one year doesn't mean you can't win again the next year. I mean, I don't know if Daniel won or not. I think the guys were really close.
He did not. Nathaniel won.
Okay, yeah, and Nathaniel didn't even know he won, which is awesome. And it's every competition is what it is. And, I got, I wouldn't say unlucky, but that orange boulder was not for me.
But that speaks a lot to the fact that you did win the comp 8 or 9 times, depending on how you count it, that you were able to, be the best on any given day.
Hey, I'm not going anywhere, so watch out next year.
Boom. From her mouth, she will be back next year to try to regain that title.
Megan going to need a new coach for next year?
I think so. I think I'm not on live anymore.
No, you.
Oh, I am? Okay, sorry. I can't hear myself in my headphones. Yeah, it's be awesome. But we're going to have a Shima next year, and we're going to have Brooke Rabitou, and we're going to have that whole group that I coach at ABC, which is going to be... I told Megan and Isa, I'm like, you know what? I might be the second oldest. I might be the first oldest in finals next year. You might be the second oldest. You're going to be one of the old ones next year because you'll be 19 or something, or 20 or one
Crazy.
of those.
That's really
that's
going
to be really weird.
Really looking forward to that. Alex Puccio, congratulations on all your success over the years. It's been really fun to watch you climb, and I'm really looking forward to continuing watching you climb in the years to come.
That's right. It's been
Hopefully
awesome
no more
to watch
injuries.
you. Yes.
And for no one else, too.
Stay away from the injuries. Alex, thank you so much for joining us. Always very fun to watch you climb.
Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations to Alex Puccio, our second place finisher this year. gracious champion.
A great attitude from Alex Puccio. Fun to talk with her. Now with us is Jimmy Webb.
Hey.
What's up? How's it going? Hold it real close.
Chilling.
There you go.
How are you?
Good.
Sweet.
Good.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, we've been chilling behind the booth. You've actually been working pretty hard up there and looking great.
Yeah, the problems were awesome. Really fun and pretty hard, pretty technical, and got you really tired. They're great setters this time, for sure.
So you struggled on the first problem and then finished really strong. What was the mindset like after the first problem, and how did you follow that through with the last 3 problems?
I was pretty upset after the first one, for sure. There was just the tricky toe hook kind of catch move that I just didn't even think about. So, I just misread it. I thought it was a double clutch, and I think I could have done the double clutch, but just didn't work out, And after that, I was like, well, especially with the scoring system, it's ranked by problem pretty much. And I was like, well, you got 3 more efforts to try to make up for it, and number 2 I had to fight really hard for. That was pretty much. Felt like I got hit by a truck after that one. And then the rest of them, man, I just got the beta in my head, and I didn't stop. Just went as fast as I could, and luckily it worked out.
That was such an awesome performance, Jimmy. Pleasure to watch you always. Thanks so much for joining us here.
Yeah, congratulations, Jimmy Webb.
Yep,
Best
appreciate
of luck
it.
to you in the future.
See you guys.
Great to see Jimmy Webb out here at Bouldering Nationals, our 2nd place finisher this year. And it sounds like we are ready for our award ceremony. Going to go down to the mats here in just a few minutes for our trophy presentations and the money presentations. There is a cash purse involved with this event. Climbers going to go home with some money in their pocket. All right, let's go down to our MC, Brian Rafferty. Raff, take it away with our results.
All right, people, it is about that time to announce our USA Climbing Bouldering Nationals champions. Would all finalists please come down to the climbing area? We are going to start things off with the ladies. In 3rd place, Claire Burfine. In 2nd place for the ladies, we have Alex Puccio. And in 1st place, and your new Nationals champion, Megan Mascarenas. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your lady national bouldering winners. And next up we have the guys. In 3rd place, Carlo Traversi. In 2nd place, Mr. Jimmy Webb. And in 1st place, and your new national champion, Nathaniel Coleman. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your USA Climbing 2016 Bouldering Nationals winners. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight and yesterday, this entire weekend. We appreciate it so much. Make sure that you stick around. There's going to be a whole lot of talking, a whole lot going on.
And that is going to do it for the 2016 edition of Bouldering Nationals. What an incredible show. Got to thank everybody involved with this event, USA Climbing, the Monona Terrace, the entire LT11 crew for holding it down all weekend. Incredible work from everybody involved. And congratulations once again to our new national champions, Nathaniel Coleman and Megan Mascarenas. And until next year, Chris Widener.
We're signing off. Thank you so much. What a great show.
Good night, everybody.
Louder Than 11 is in the business of storytelling. Rather than just providing a live streaming service, we use broadcast as a medium to tell vivid stories. Our creative productions provide an experience that focuses on the heart of an event. We use innovative technology to tell stories that would otherwise not be told.